I found out that my husband had been cheating on me while I was postpartum, so I subtly became the woman he fantasized about and left him without a warning. I found out that my husband was having an affair while I was postpartum. I thought that I would die because I love him, and it felt like my heart was broken into a million pieces. I knew that it was over, but my curiosity got the best of me. I wanted to know why. What was it she had that I didn't? Did he love her? I started reading his texts, and everything was there. He felt like he was alive again. He was happy and excited. She's single and childless, so she had all the time in the world to prioritize him. He felt seen and desired by her. I was confused because even with life coming between us, he was always my love, and I made sure he knew that every day. Still, it wasn't enough. I read thousands upon thousands of messages between them, and I started being everything he had fantasized about. Initially, it felt weird, and he was confused, but I continued. Every time he made plans with her, I found a way to make him stay, or I made sure that I sent him exhausted to her. The messages became less and less frequent, and the passion and excitement subsided. Soon, answering her became more of a chore. The complaining started, and he pulled away. He was happier at home and couldn't wait to come home. He started texting me again during the day, the sweetest texts of how he missed me. He was his old self back. One day, what I had hoped and waited patiently for happened. He ended things with her. He told her he loved me and that everything was great again. Her services weren't needed. In other words, I felt relief, and finally, I could move on. Now, I am preparing for my divorce. He will get the papers the day I leave for my new life in my new apartment. I know I will get a lot of hate for this because I have neglected my husband and pushed him to seek solace in another woman's arms when I apparently could given him what he sought all along, and believe me, I will bear the guilt for the rest of my life. In my defense, I didn't do it intentionally. Our lives had just been altered drastically, and I was trying to navigate this new and exciting existence. I was immersed in this new kind of happiness that I thought I was sharing with him, and I was trying to get to know my new body that I couldn't recognize anymore. A really scary feeling. But he could have come to me with his hurt. He could have talked to me about his suffering. He could have tried to make me understand, but he chose not to. He decided to deceive me, deceive us. He ruined our love, our future, and even our history. Nothing was is or will be the same again. Update: moved out April 1st. Probably the cruelest April Fool I could play on my dear husband. He always loved April Fool. I feel a lot of guilt and guilt-related pain. I know what I am doing is so cruel, but I guess I will just keep going with my plans. I moved out after I left my husband's divorce papers. I told him I wasn't in love with him anymore and thought we were better off as co-parents than as a couple. I have found a new place, and he could buy me out of our current home or sell the property once the divorce is finalized. He was in total shock, but probably not the same shock I was in when I found out that he was cheating on me. He asked if I hit my head and even told people that he was worried that I had a brain tumor. He was very angry in the beginning and wanted answers. I reminded him that we still had our son and to think about him before acting vindictive. Sure enough, he kept it civil around our son. He kept asking why and how long ago I had stopped loving him. He didn't get any answers from me. Our families are very sad and mostly shocked, but they have been very understanding. My ex-in-laws are still very active in my son's life and they have been very cordial if yet a bit cold towards me. That represented itself when about 2 weeks ago, my mother-in-law in a bit passive-aggressive tone told me that my husband has started seeing someone. She apologized immediately and said that she just wanted me to know and be prepared that he had someone new, and yet I couldn't help but hear some vindication in her voice. I just answered, "Oh, do you mean Karen?" She looked shocked and asked me, "Did you know? Did he talk to you about it?" I said, "Oh no, but she isn't new." I told her that he has been sleeping with her since I just had given birth, maybe even before that. I kept my voice very quiet and monotone, like we were discussing the weather. I was already regretting my slip, but the news that he started seeing Karen again, while very much anticipated, still made my heart hurt. My mother and father-in-law just looked at each other. I don't know if they believed me, but then how would I have known about Karen when I had refused to see him in person since our breakup? So now everyone knows anyway, and I have learned that you can't keep these things to yourself indefinitely. Since he found out, he has been called and apologizing every day. "Why didn't you tell me? How much did I hurt you?" He said that he loved me and never stopped loving me, that he was so sorry for everything and that he would do anything to have me back as his wife. My mother-in-law apologized too, even though she had no control over what her grown-up son did or did. It's not her fault. He writes that he loves me every night before bed. I hope this doesn't mean that he would make the divorce drag out, because then I have failed my plan, but he seems to be less forgiving of the divorce when he knew that he was the reason for it than when he thought it was mine. Weird. The divorce is still processing, and if anything major happens, I will be here again if I haven't outstayed my welcome already. Ciao.